A brand new report has revealed the potential future of the Minnesota Vikings quarterback room in the absence of Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones if both elect to not return to the Minnesota Vikings. We're going to be taking a look at this report and breaking down why this one is one of the most interesting decisions the Vikings could make and one of the most beneficial ones that has been listed so far here in this video. Now, before we get into all of this news, we know that 91% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. If you're looking for a spot to get all of your Minnesota Vikings news, you're in the right spot. Hit the sub button, join us here on the channel. We are covering everything Minnesota Vikings, and we have a busy offseason ahead of us, including many things with quarterback and whatnot, so you're not going to want to miss it. Be sure to stick around, hit the sub button. But let's get into our first topic here of the video, which is from a recent article kind of breaking down what the quarterback room could look like for the Minnesota Vikings going forward. And now, there's a reasonable chance that both Darnold and Daniel Jones are playing elsewhere in 2025 by some combination of free agency and or trade, which would leave the Vikings with an inexperienced JJ McCarthy with no legitimate backup or competition for the starting job should he struggle. And I think the key part of this right here is the starting job. We saw right now that JJ McCarthy likely is going to be the starter going forward, or the plan a starter for going forward. Now, there's still a chance that, of course, he can come into the beginning of next season still injured. That's still a possibility. We know the rehab that he had on his knee this year, the extra surgery and whatnot, but reports are showing that he should be good, but we still don't 100% know. But on top of that as well, having no competition for that starting job won't give him that extra drive, and I'm sure he has that already from missing out on the full season, as full rookie season, I guess we could say. But looking at what we're trying to get and what we're trying to have at quarterback for the future is a very, very competitive quarterback room. And looking at right now, really all we have is JJ McCarthy, and having an extra bit of either competition, bit of backup as well, that is a very beneficial part that the Vikings are going to want to have going into this season, especially with the uncertainty of JJ McCarthy. I'm sure he'll be fine, but still, we want to have that extra layer of security compared to where we've been in the past. But there are many options that we've seen going from a trade, going from free agency, and the draft. Many different options that the Vikings are definitely going to explore. But I think the most likely and probably the best option will be the free agency market. Now, there are no major names at quarterback in the free agency market. We have a lot of solid ones, but we have no superstars. And the Vikings obviously wouldn't be going for that. We're trying to bank the future on JJ McCarthy, and working him into the starting role, it's not going to be a rush for the Vikings. They want to get him there, but they're not going to take any chances. And looking at that, there are many young other quarterbacks who could be moved in this position. One of them being one of the targets from the Vikings had a few seasons ago in Justin Fields. Now, looking at this right here, back in 2021, there were rumors the Vikings tried to trade up and draft Justin Fields before the Bears took him, and that was going to be a very, very interesting look from what we've seen. Of course, Kirk Cousins back in 2021, looking at that, translating him into what I would have imagined was the Vikings trying to do a Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers type of thing, where keep him under Kirk Cousins for a little bit and work him into that role then. And we saw what happened with the Bears. Didn't work out, but with the Steelers this year, Justin Fields looked pretty promising. We've seen him in a different system. We kind of split time with Russell Wilson, and we saw that work out. And of course, that is still very early on in his career. And of course, we know what Kevin O'Connell can do with quarterbacks. We know what different systems can do to different quarterbacks. This is a very interesting look for the Minnesota Vikings. And I want to pull up this one. It is a very long one, so bear with me here for a moment. But that was before Kevin O'Connell, the quarterback guru, arrived in Minnesota. He made the Vikings a dream destination for any quarterback looking for a change of scenery, including Justin Fields, who named Minnesota one of his 4 preferred destinations in a trade last year. And goes to show, once again, people are going to be looking to come to Kevin O'Connell to get that revamped career. McCarthy is still the future, but Darnold proved to be an ideal prototype for O'Connell to refine his play calling. Fields would offer O'Connell a mobile weapon to build plays around in the mold of McCarthy. He made just under $19 million in his career after 6 starts with Pittsburgh. He projected at $8.9 million market value, cheaper than Darnold's 1-year deal. And when we're looking at $8.9 million for a guy like Justin Fields, who has so much potential, and that's $8.9 per year, so multiple years could change that price and whatnot. But when we're looking at a guy like Justin Fields, someone who's been really, I don't want to say around the league, but he's certainly been explored in multiple options by the Steelers, by the Bears. And you're looking at a guy like Kevin O'Connell, how he can work in a mobile quarterback, what they're planning kind of to do with JJ McCarthy, eventually trying to have that running back. And we saw what the duo tandem of Russell Wilson and Justin Fields was able to do in Pittsburgh. This could be a very sneaky option for the Minnesota Vikings to go out, try and get Justin Fields, go out, work him into a lineup in some way. Of course, you don't want to kind of stray away from the JJ McCarthy plan. You worked your way up in the draft to get him. You got him at where you wanted to. And of course, you're looking at having him as the future. There's no changing that. But Justin Fields could certainly be a very good plan, not just to revamp his career, but also to have as a versatile weapon the Minnesota Vikings can use in tandem with JJ McCarthy. And of course, it would be a bit of a issue going, I guess, multiple years or whatnot, or going deeper into this year when you have a guy like Justin Fields, who you would sign also as a backup, as a competitive option, but you would sign to at least start a few games. And with JJ McCarthy trying to be this quarterback of the future, you don't want to hinder his development. There would be a kind of contested situation at who will start, who would back up, what would happen later on in the season, or in the competitive scenarios, and would result in maybe a few problems coming out of this room, and we don't want to see that. We want to see the Minnesota Vikings continue to go for another solid playoff run, go for a deep run, go for the Super Bowl that we've all been waiting for as fans. And, I wouldn't expect this to happen right away. Of course, JJ McCarthy's still only going to be a rookie next season. Justin Fields only in his first few seasons of his career. But looking at the way that these guys are both developing into what I'm going to say is going to be very, very good star quarterbacks, Minnesota's the place to do that. And we know that with what we're looking at from not just JJ McCarthy, not just Justin Fields, but Justin Fields wanting to come here, JJ McCarthy enjoying being here, it could be a very fun locker room to look at in the quarterback space. But we do have another little tidbit here. But Justin Fields, who's played out the final year of his 4-year, $19 million rookie contract in 2024, going 4-2 with the Steelers as a starter before the team replaced him with Russell Wilson. For his career, Fields has thrown nearly 7,800 yards, 45 touchdowns, and 31 interceptions, while rushing for the football for 2,500 yards and 19 scores. Spot Track projects Fields' market value around $90 million on a new one-year deal, which would keep Minnesota's cost at quarterback far lower in 2025 and potentially beyond if the team chooses to extend Darnold on a multi-year deal. And we've discussed the idea of Sam Darnold extending his contract with the Minnesota Vikings. I don't hate it, but I also don't love it. I don't want to continue to sit JJ McCarthy for years to come, although we saw it work out with Jordan Love. Bit of a different scenario, though. We know how, Aaron Rodgers to that Sam Darnold style. We do see Kevin O'Connell, though, who is going to be able to develop any quarterback he really wishes to, it almost seems like. But when you're looking at this as well, looking at the 45 touchdowns, 31 interceptions, certainly doesn't look good on paper, but we know that Justin Fields is much better on his feet. We saw that at the end of his career with the Chicago Bears. He was good on his feet. He was dominating the game. He was controlling the Bears' offense. And with no weapons on the Bears, still very little apart from George Pickens and Pat Freiermuth, really, on the Pittsburgh Steelers, putting him in a room with a lot of weapons, a quarterback who knows how to, or former quarterback, coach now, quarterback whisperer Kevin O'Connell, knowing how to develop these types of quarterbacks, it could be very interesting to see how Justin Fields' career could severely and significantly change in the positive direction. So I want to know what you guys think. And obviously, all speculation still. These are reports saying that it's a possible link. We still really don't know what the Vikings' plan is just yet. I would assume it will be after the Super Bowl and a bit further going to know what we get deeper information on quarterbacks and stuff is. But it's a very interesting look at what the quarterback room may look like for the Vikings heading into next season. So let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you think about the potential of having Justin Fields, JJ McCarthy in a backfield. Certainly interesting, but there's all speculation again, once again, and I want to see what this could look like. I'm very curious. So that's all I got in this video. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. Remember, all your Minnesota Vikings news here, all off-season heading into next season. Going to be a very fun one, and you won't want to miss what we have to bring you. But like I said, that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.